Hi guys, Nothing to Prove here. Today's a beautiful day because any day one can be out on two wheels is a beautiful day. And yeah, it's the 800 GS. I say, wait a minute, 800 GS, didn't that come out in 2024 last year? And I said, yeah. I never got around to it last year and now I have around to it in my pocket, so hence the video. Actually, the last time I rode this small of a GS, the 750 GS, was in 2018. So it's been 6.5 years at the time I'm filming this video that I have actually sat on this bike when it was a 750. Now it's the 800. And say 800, wait a minute, isn't there an 800 and a 900? Yeah, they're doing the same bloody thing that they did with the 750 and 850. It was actually an 854cc motor. This is now an 895 motor, whether you get the 900 or the 800. What's the difference? Well, power in the 900 GS is about 18 more ponies than this, and torques are about, on this, 2 less. So you say, wow, that's a big difference. But wait a minute, the power, the ponies, are all above 7 grand on the 900 GS. And really, do you go much? How often do we go above 7 grand on the street? Okay, we do, but 90% of the time we don't. And that's where BMW says, you don't need all that top end power. And they're also doing it for the A2 licensing over here in Europe so that they can, for your A2 guys, reduced power machines, you know, your 15, 16, is it 16-year-olds? They're only allowed, something like that. But that's the only difference. It says 800, but it's an 895 motor. Now, how does this engine and transmission feel on the street? Okay, nobody behind me. We're at first. Let's just do a quick, maybe 3/4 throttle, and let's try this quick shifter. Oh, nice. Beautiful. That was funny. Not bad. Now let's do it in dynamic mode, off, on, there. Now let's go through the gears. There's still nobody behind. Let's bring it all the way down. Let's see how this is, same throttle. Oh, much better. Oh, much more dynamic. Oh, I got a corner here. Let's look through the corner. Oh, no problem. Okay. Oh yeah, there's a huge difference between road mode and dynamic. Now this is the dynamic package, which is an extra, what, 800 euros here in Germany. It's worth it, yes. And then you get the quick shifter with it too, with that package, which I talked to my local BMW dealer, says, yeah, pretty much everybody gets at least the dynamic package on this. This bike has all 3 packages, the touring and the comfort. See, because here this is ready for the BMW Connect to Ride, or you can put your cell phone in here too. They have an adapter for your smartphone. But overall, it's the same 900 XR and R motor that came out in 2020. This got updated last year in 24, and it's great. I love it. That's why I bought the 2020 900 XR, because of this motor. I just don't like the sound coming up through the triple clamp of this motor. That's all. It got old real quick with me. Still nobody behind me. Let's try it one more time. Oh yeah. Yeah. It will scream when you want it to. And that's part of the fun with a middleweight adventure bike or a middleweight anything, is it's just enough motor to have a blast on the street, to wring its neck. You know, you start getting up into the bigger size motors, you can't wring their neck and be legal on the street. You know, that's the problem. But here with these middleweights, you still can. You know, this 895cc machine is fun to wring its neck and still be legal. And that's one reason why this engine and transmission are getting 2 thumbs up from me. Boom, boom. Let's go down to, let's set the cruise control
25, 24. Okay, let's set it at 125. So then we're doing about 120. So which is what, 74 miles an hour. Wind everywhere. Total helmet about from here up on the arms. I might, yep, into my midsection, legs, yep. If I splay them out like that, then oh yeah, but it's just only half of the leg really. And let's get by this. Oh, nice roll on. Did you see how that went up? Wow. Vibration though, with this 270-degree firing, I have vibration in the right foot peg and a little bit in the left, a little less in the left. In the right, a little bit, and in the left, just barely enough to feel it. But yeah, you need earplugs if you take this on the Autobahn. That's why I would get the higher screen for this. Like if I got this bike, there's the USB port right there. I didn't point that out in the walk around. But for what it is, a middleweight adventure bike, get the higher screen, and then I would give it 2 thumbs up for the Autobahn. But because it's the lower screen, only 1.5 thumbs.
Same non-adjustable forks here, 41 millimeter, 170 mils of travel. And yeah, I noticed these are right side ups, not upside down forks. If you get the 900 GS, then you'll get the upside down forks. 305s and 2-piston older Brembos here. If you get the 900, you will get the Gen 4 Brembos with 4 pistons on them. So it's a little bit of a difference there. But you have nice adjustable levers on both sides. That's nice. Again, 170 mils of travel. This has the dynamic ESA. See the ZF there? Electronic on the rear, not on the front. It's a manual in the front. But those are non-adjustable. And then you have a 265 disc sitting on there, and grabbing hold of that are the 1-piston Brembo there. Now, how is this setup on the street?
Oh, my favorite bumpy road in my neck of the woods. I got it in dynamic though. Okay, let's go back to. Oh no, that's the heated grips I'm pressing. The road. Enduro, no. Rain, no. There, road. Okay, there. Oh, that's more comfortable. Oh wow, that does make a difference. So this is the dynamic package, which then you get electronic rear. And it's the dynamic ESA system, and it's soaking these bumps up. The front is not electronic, it's non-adjustable, so that's always the same, but the majority of those bumps coming up through the seat are negated by this electronic suspension, this compression and rebound, the damping. It's constantly checking. And it's still maintaining this corner. I feel comfortable and everything. And how was that rear brake? That's a thumb up. That's not 2 thumbs up. And the front brake, because they're Brembos, but they're the old gen Brembo, and they're only 2-piston. You can feel that difference between the 900 GS and this. That's way better. It takes a lot less, but let's go down first. Now, okay, you gotta apply a little more pressure than on the 900 GS with the 2-piston. That's a given, but the feel and the feedback is there. And in the rear, you really gotta apply, but the feel and the feedback, okay, it is there. All right. Let me try it again. Yeah, okay, I want to do it fair. And these brakes are seated in, are bedded in, because there's enough kilometers on here. I forget how much, 800-900, something like that. So I can thrash this machine and the brakes. And okay, the rear, I'm still it's not enough feel, it's not enough feedback, in my humble opinion. You could have given me a little more. Okay, but I'm riding this street adventure bike like a sport bike, you know, and that's half of the problem. So for what it is, price point, these right side up forks, not upside down, right side ups, and non-adjustable, they do well. So I can see it. It's acceptable. 2 thumbs up for the price point of this bike. Boom, boom.
Still looks good. Still the same basic design that they had in 2018. Here you can attach the Vario cases and of course the high mount muffler. Again, the top case, you can put the Vario cases here and here, and here's the remote for the electronic suspension. Not bad as far as space here. This is 815 off the ground. You can go all the way up to 845 or all the way down with the low seat and the suspension lowering kit to 760 mils off the ground. For you shorter riders, BMW is saying, hey, we got it, no problem. And also look at how this is here with me on it. This 815 is not bad. I feel fairly comfortable with my height and my weight. I don't know if I would want, maybe I would get the high seat. I don't know. I'm flat footing it. But some of you shorter guys would get the lower one. Some of you taller guys, you know, of course, go all the way up to the comfort seat, to the 845 seat. They're giving you the option. 15 liters filled up, 227. Yeah, that's kind of heavy, but because once you get to 230, you're into the heavy weight adventure bike. Actually, you're right there with the base model Honda Africa Twin, if you're right there at 230. So, but then this is cheaper than the Africa Twin base. And that's another thing, base to base. This is not a bad price. 10.5 here in Germany, well, 11. But then when you get all the 3 packages, now you're right at 13. Because I spec'd this out the way I want it with all 3 packages and then a few extra bells and whistles. I was looking at right at 13K for this out the door. So I'm like, you're getting up there in price a little bit. So how does this 227 kilos feel on the street in say a little village?
Okay, now we're going into a 30 zone. So let's leave this thing in second gear and try the on off. Not bad. That was an old 600 there. A couple of BMWs here, a new one and an older GS. But the on off, on off, on. Okay, it's still the same as it's always been. It could be better in my humble opinion, but with this 270-degree firing order of this parallel twin and chain drive, probably could tighten up that chain a hair or two, but and quick shift is smooth, nice and smooth. Yeah, they fixed that with this last year too. Before it was clunky. Now the quick shifter is even going into first, second, third. They beautiful quick shifter in town. Yeah, you can just push up and down. Even on throttle here, it went down to 2. Beautiful. And then back up to 3. In a little village in town, I can see squirting around, no problems. Even with this standard windscreen, I would want to get the full windscreen or the same one that's on the 900XR. It'll fit, put it on there, and boom, done. Then you can go touring on this too. But see, because right now I would not want to tour like this because the wind is hitting me everywhere, and that's where I'm a little okay. But out here as I'm leaving this village, my first impressions of the city, yeah, 2 thumbs up. Boom, boom.
Same basic controls here. Love the wheel, used to that, especially with other GSs and my RT. Same controls here. Mirrors work great as usual, and this is keyless, so you have to press that to turn on the 6.5-inch TFT that BMW's been making since 2018, and that's 7 years now, and they're still going with it. And it still looks good, in my humble opinion, as you guys can see here. And then, how do I know? Yeah, and this also has, if you get the dynamic package, you can do enduro mode, which I really don't need it where I am. Yeah, let's go back to dynamic. There. So, the only thing I would change with this is I would put on the higher windscreen, maybe the 900 XR standard windscreen. But this is non-adjustable though, whereas on the XR it is. So this is where I'm like, So, but you know, once you get the screen size on, especially on a bike this size, it's not a problem. Competition. This is right there. If you guys are looking for a street middleweight adventure bike, this is a viable option. And it has the BMW name, the premium name there. You know, if you want to go to the other spectrum, the 800 Triumph cost, or also the Suzuki. Although the Honda is also a very good price. So yeah, can I recommend this? I would recommend all 5 of these bikes that I mentioned, except for maybe the KTM 790. But okay, I shouldn't say that. Due to their financial difficulties, I know of dealerships that are kind of on the. Yeah, I digress. I'm talking about KTM with a BMW. I shouldn't. Let's end that discussion. You guys pick. All 5 of these bikes that I just mentioned are right there, close enough. And I would recommend buying any one of the 5. You'll be happy because they're all good. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this review. As always, guys, ride safe and ride like there's nothing to prove. Ciao.